Welcome everybody. This is RV Maxi here. I've been trying to do some streaming on Decentraland, and why I think that open source, off grid, and self-powered, self-created homes, like places where you can go and feel secure, are going to become the way of the future. Because I think that local governments and just governments in general are kind of messing everything up. And I want to show you, I want to explain to you the interaction that I had this morning that I got before my breakfast, where I was apparently the problem. Um, this morning I had a friend over. He's actually trying to stay in LA. He was gonna try and be my roommate. Things didn't quite work out because my RVs aren't quite done yet. Things are a little bit rough. Um, but it was no big deal. Yesterday there was a kind of like a parking guy that came out here. He saw me in the morning, said, "Hey, what's going on?" With the RVs, I'm like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm working on them. Everything's not been great, but it is what it is. I've been trying to get get at least caught up in life because right now I'm low key. I've got a decent amount of money in crypto, but I'm dollar poor, and specifically because I kind of have already taken the stance of fuck you and your blood money. Because they can do whatever they want. I tried to get a Tesla so many times. I wouldn't be in this situation if they approved 3 of my loans that I was qualified for in the beginning, before the pandemic. I pre-planned literally most of my life, predicting a lot of the bad stuff that was going on, and wasn't able to get it just because the bank didn't think I could do what I could do, or didn't think that I could do what I know, or what I said was correct, because they always know better. The moral of the story is there's always going to be adults in your life that are going to tell you that they know better because of either their positioning, their badge, whatever it is. And I'm here to help you fight them off because that's disgusting. If you're stronger, you should not use your strength to manipulate other people. You should use it to protect other people. Because that's ridiculous. Let me get this file sent. Because I want to show you guys what I came back to after being handcuffed for 2 hours. I don't even have words for it. It was just ridiculous. Well, I got told to move, and in the process got handcuffed. And I'm pretty sure my AC is destroyed because it fell out the window because of how everything was. So, I'm going to probably be on later on tonight. I've got to move real quick. Got to get everything set up. Going to do a giveaway still. It's probably going to be later on tonight. Yeah, this is a fucking disaster. It wasn't great before, but now it's significantly worse. For fuck's sake, there's water everywhere. That was after being handcuffed on the side of the road for 2 hours. Luckily, they were nice and they pulled us out of the side. That's that's where we were in all this. Like, we were thankful that they weren't meaner. Like that. Welcome to America, where at least it's not worse, because that would be bad. We've devolved so much from the best, the brightest, and the greatest. That's all I'm here to say. Um, it was what I woke up to, and I was apparently I was reported saying that I was being a nuisance or whatever, but just pretty much, I. What they came here to do is they came here to tell me to leave because I'm parked in an RV. It's okay. I've literally been living in this area for 4 years. More than that specific officer apparently has been in this area because he came out of LA, where bitches are crazy out there. They'll literally try and run into you while you're in traffic. Like, you'll be in a moving car. It's obviously you're moving forward, and they'll still try and run into you. Not LA. This is an industrial zone where businesses take place. One of these local businesses had a problem with me being here. None of them have at any point in time actually confronted me or asked what was going on. I'm like practically always home. Would not be a big deal to do so. Never happened. Anyway, I'm making coffee and I heard a knock on the door. My friend was still here, and he's like, "Oh, what's going on?" I'm like, "I don't know. I have friends that live nearby. Sometimes they'll knock on the door. We'll hang out and just talk, kind of catch up. There's other RV people here. Nothing unusual, you know." I get out and I see an officer over by my window. I'm like, "Okay, cool. Let's see what's going on." I come back in, literally to put my shoes on because I was in socks. I wasn't even fully dressed. Like, I just fucking woke up. fully dressed. I pop back in, put on my shoes, and I get out there, and before I can even like reach out to like shake his hand, and be like, "Hey man, like what's going on? What can I do for you? What happened? How can we fix this?" Before I even practically could say any of that, he looked at me after coming back out, literally reached for his gun and had it half cocked out at me already, and I'm like, I like low key like I didn't put my hands up because I didn't want to move fast, but I was just like, dude, what's going on? Do I need to move? Like, is there a problem? And from that point on, he said, sit down. Just sit down right now. Like, he got all mad at me. And I'm like, what is the problem? Why did you almost draw a gun at me? Like, what is going on? Because that's not normal fucking behavior. That's your job as an officer of the law is to protect and uphold the law and protect the citizens from abusive powers of the law, aka corporate and government. They're actually supposed to protect you, the people. Actually managed to get somebody with some form of a complex. I'm not a psycho rapist or I mean psychiatrist or whatever. I don't pretend to fuck with people's minds for money either. So I'm not gonna diagnose him. I can't diagnose anyone. You don't really know anyone anyway. It's not my job, nor will it ever be. People are people. Anyway, yeah. So he confronts me with that, and he has me like sit down on the curb on the grass. I'm like, hey, do I really need to do this? What seems to be the actual problem? If it's because I need to move, I can move. It's got fucking wheels and an engine. That's literally, it's not a problem. And he said, nope, nope, nope. You need to sit down until my friend with backup, my friend's coming here. And the entire time, would not fucking talk to me. And I'm like, okay, dude, your friend doesn't need to be here. I'm just one guy. He asked if I was alone. I said, no, I'm not. I'm not alone. There's a friend in there. We were listening to music. We barely heard him knock because I have decent subs. I'm not a fucking little bitch. When I build something, it's fun. Name is fully because he didn't actually give it to me. That's not allowed. They have to give me their name. It's literally my right. They searched my RV without my actual consent. He kept asking, and then he's like, "Do you have anything to hide?" I'm like, "No, I don't have anything to hide." And then he just kept walking. And then he went in and he just kind of said whatever. And that's a lose-lose situation because they're trying to manipulate me to do a lot of things here. So if I say no, they're going to have probable cause and they're going to be even more rough with my stuff. If I say yes, he's going to be rough with my stuff. And I have actual high-powered electronics in here. What they asked me is, do I have weapons in the vehicle? I said no, I do not have weapons in the vehicle. To their definition, because literally anything's a weapon. I've got tools. Anything can be used to hurt anyone. That being said, that doesn't mean that my RV is not dangerous. If you are an idiot and you go into my RV and you have the wrong metal close to the wrong metal in certain spots, it will cause an explosion. Because that's what voltage and amperage does once it's shorted out together. I am there for about 10-20 minutes. Where I am trying to talk to him, be like, "Hey man, what's the problem? What's the actual problem? Is it because the movie's like, yeah, yeah, but the registration is bad." Okay, I understand that, but that's not a problem that I can fix now because I don't currently have money. There's literally nothing you can do to make me manufacture money, like right now. He's like, "Nope, we're gonna wait till my friend gets here or whatever." And he's the entire time uncomfortable that I have a friend in here. So this guy, like, I don't even really see race normally when I talk to friends. Race is stupid. Here's my subject or my opinion on race. There's only one race, and that's a race against time, and that is the human race. The human race against time. And I'm for kind of all of us winning except for people like this cop. Because he's the exact type of disruption that he swore to protect. I mean, only by definition. And I can. Anyway, I digress. After probably an hour, Valentino was probably like, I don't know what's going on. He's probably in here, had the music going. I was trying to have a good time. We were making fucking breakfast. He was out there interrogating. I was in handcuffs by now. he told me to put my feet out and then to cross them. He's like, spread them apart and then cross them. I'm like, I can't do that. Those are conflicting. Like, he just literally was trying to control me around. So because he was doing that, I got snarky with him because he was treating me like a dog, and I'm like, I'm not a dog. I don't have to be sitting down here. Like, this is ridiculous. What is the problem? Refused to talk to me. Refused to talk to me. Refused to talk to me. Kept saying that he's wearing body camera footage. I'm actually gonna try and get the body camera footage. In fact, actually, I need to call.
Hi, what's the address of your emergency?
Oh, I'm not having an emergency. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to reach. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm just trying to reach my local police department. I had a little bit of a problem this morning. I was reported for parking in an incorrect spot, and some things kind of got escalated, and I just didn't like how I was treated by the officer. And I don't want anything crazy to happen, but I just want to kind of help do what I can to kind of report what happened to help it not happen to somebody else, if that makes sense. What's the best medium to do this? Well, I don't want to come down. Is it okay if I just do it over the phone? Well, I do want to file an official I just can't do it over the phone though, right? Okay, okay, that's fine. I can do that. I've got a quick question. I do have his car number. At the time that this altercation was kind of happening, it was literally just a complaint about parking, but it ended up with a gun nearly being drawn on me and me ending up in handcuffs for 2 hours on the curb. So I was just wondering if I could get the officer's name. I know what car number he was in, but he never actually like he would not give me his badge number or his name. He would not give me any information at all. Yeah, it was unit number, and it was around 10:44 a.m. is approximately when they left after they overturned pretty much everything that I have. Yeah, 1370. It's I believe what I read on the vehicle. Oh, okay, gotcha. I'm sorry. And is there any way to do this without cuz I don't want to like sue anyone or anything. I legit just want the body camera footage to be used for like training on how to not escalate a situation cuz it was literally over a parking ticket and he almost drew a gun on me. Like he literally half had it out and I was in handcuffs. Me and my friend were in handcuffs for 2 hours. And they like destroyed my place. It was an RV, so we were mobile. It was off, like just up the street from the police department, practically. Oh, one second, one second. He said he was like from LA and stuff like that. I just think that he should get like Ontario training because people out here aren't as crazy as LA. I understand where he was coming from, but it's not LA, you know. Like, oh, dude, it was so aggressive. I'm telling you, I was in handcuffs faster than I knew what was going on. I'm like, this was a parking complaint. How did this get so far? It was just because he didn't like the attitude. Like, it didn't matter what I said. I was guilty as soon as he saw me. And I'm like, that's not how America's supposed to work. Is you're innocent until proven guilty. And I was like, I literally just stepped outside and he almost drew a gun on me. All right, can you say that again? His friend that he called out was actually not that bad. I feel like he didn't quite agree with what was going on, but I understand you can't like just undermine your officer's authority, but at the same time I just wish that I wish they would get a little bit more de-escalation training is all. You know, I just want to do my part to help. Okay, and do you have any advice on how to do this? Because I've never had to do this before. It's normally been like, hey, can you move? It's no big deal. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for being helpful. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope everything stays safe out there. You know. All right. Goodbye. We have to go in there and do that later. This is we're gonna have to. You can't. Whenever stuff like that happens, you have to push back at least a little bit because if you keep letting it happen, that's when tyranny actually definitely goes out of control. Without it, anything that goes unchecked will always become out of control. Like there's nothing that you can't not tweak. Everything requires change. Change is a constant. That is what we have to learn. So, That was really cool. I just learned on stream how to route my call through my computer. I'm also gonna plug library. You guys, I'm gonna try and upload this to library. I'm gonna try and get certified to stream on library as a decentralized platform. I've been using it a little bit more. Let me show it to you guys because it's cool. It's got an app, so you can actually use it on Linux. Let me bring that window in for you real quick. Okay, so this is library. It's pretty much exactly like YouTube, but the difference is you actually earn crypto for watching and for posting. So you can not only like you can post, you can comment, and you can watch, and you get paid for your activity on the network. Everyone that is part of it is part of the network. This is what crypto's about. See, every day now, every time you go to work, everywhere, it doesn't matter what you do. You're responsible for a few things. You're responsible for doing what you're told and making sure that no matter what, you have all of the required tools to do what you're told, whether or not you're given the tools necessary to do what you're told. But your performance is on you, and normally the resources that you have access to and what you can do with them is not on you. That's what's provided to you. So where people normally actually stand out is their ability to be thrifty or crafty with what they've got, kind of their resourcefulness. And it's not necessarily a bad thing in certain respects because it provides a path for improvement. However, it also provides a really destructive way for things that didn't have to be a problem that are now a problem as a side effect. The side effect of this type of logic, behavior, and thinking is significantly worse. And that's what I tried to convey to this officer multiple times. You see, there are many things that can be said about me, and there's many things that I am. One thing that I'm not. I am not now, nor will I ever be paid to have an opinion on anything. All the opinions that I will ever have, or and have made, have been formulated my own in aggregate of digital knowledge that I can find from pretty much everywhere else. Not everyone can say that. I can't say that for all things, but there's a lot of things that I can say that to and for. All right, so this is library. I really want the zero motorcycle. I'm gonna try and post on there. It's gonna be RV Max. I'm gonna try and post this specific video on there because this is something that's probably gonna get flagged. I retweeted this, so you have like a retweet like function on here. And I will actually get into how to do library. I'm gonna try to do library and theta to see how that goes. Oh no, we're dropping some frames. It looks like. Oh no, no, it's still excellent. But we did do some frame dropping. Okay. Well, anyway, that's library. Let's get back to Zach and Jesse. Let's get back to what we were doing. Let's get back to history in the making for the good of the planet. That was enough of the bad. Like with my friend that was with me, who too was harassed by the cops, which I really wish that they would just apologize to him. Like even if they had a problem with me for parking without registration because I couldn't afford it. So because I made the horrible crime of being poor, they handcuffed my friend and put him on the grass and kept us outside for an hour as they overturned my or not my apartment, my RV with his stuff in there just for him being in association with me for parking in a place that was not signed parking in a public zone. And this was paid by everyone in the government and on behalf of local businesses. It was But I'm in the wrong. I was the tyrant. I was the public nuisance. I was the problem. And that's what bothers me the most about the world that we live in. I'm ending this here, but there will be more to come. Stay tuned. I love you guys. Let's get to something cheery in the future. I'm gonna have some coffee. I don't have anything to like scrounge for a bowl. I really wish I did. I could really use a bowl. But yeah, love you guys. Let's get back to world-changing events.